Hey guys, so welcome to the team call tonight. I am so excited for this call that we have Ashlynn, and I think Kobe will be joining us at some point. He's running a little bit late, he said. Ashlynn, Kobe Mitchell, let me see, how do I start? So I met Kobe actually I guess it was like 2 years ago when he worked for corporate. He was, like a corporate sponsor, and he was working with my coach, Lauren, and she had him help some of us with some business things. And then Kobe left and was doing kind of his own coaching thing, kind of like what Josh does for us now. And so Lauren had hired him to work with me. And so I got to work with him pretty closely for a while, and he was an incredible resource for me and tons of help. Like, I would not be where I am right now without his help. So when I finally got to meet him and to meet Ashlynn when we were in Utah for the Diamond Retreat, because, oh my gosh, they live right there, I was like so excited because, hey, there he is. So I was like totally pumped. I finally got to actually meet them in person. And Ashlynn's been a coach now for a year and a half. And I've been following her because, Kobe told me she's coaching. And so her page is bananas crazy awesome. Like, seriously, if you go find her, MamaBear.Fitness, it's MamaBear.Fitness on Instagram. And I guess, is it facebook.com/MamaBear.Fitness? Yeah. Is her like page on Facebook. And not only is it visually appealing, but it's so real. And she is so open about her life, her struggles, her family, what they have been through is like, it's incredible. It really is. And to see what they've been able to overcome is like, it's just really overwhelming. And she has created such a following because she is so real and shares her story so openly and so honestly and without fear. And it is just something really, really inspiring to me. And so I'm hoping that you guys all have your notebooks ready, because she is going to drop some knowledge bombs on you right now that are going to change your life and the way you present yourself, and encourage you hopefully to go out there and really share you. So I'm going to try to do this speaker view thing, but I don't want it to be on me, and get Ashlynn up here somehow. I don't know. Did I do this wrong? Ashlynn, I'm like super tech challenged, so there's never a call without like 17 hiccups when it comes to me, because that's how I roll. Hold on. There you are. You're unmuted.
Yay.
Okay. So thank you, by the way.
That was a super nice intro.
Yes. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can. Can everybody else just shake a couple heads that we can see? All right. Yeah, we got some chats going. Awesome.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to wear headphones. So as far as the slides, can I screen share, or do you have them?
Screen share.
I have them, but I think you can screen share too.
Okay.
Yeah, that way you can kind of control them. Because again, leaving it up to me, probably not the best idea.
Okay, hang on one sec, guys. Screen share. All right. Is this like in weird mode though?
Can you see it? Can you see it now?
Yes. I can still see it.
Is it? There we go. That better?
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
How do I see you guys? Oh, well. All right. So I'm Ashlynn, or Mama Bear. Most people don't know my real name, so thank you for knowing my name. I don't like this because I can't see you guys. How do I do that?
Just exit.
Okay. I'm going to do it. Is it like little though? Can you guys see it in full or not? No?
We can see most of it. Like, you just have the border but we can see most of it. That's bigger.
Okay. Sorry, when I did this before, it didn't do that. I don't know how to do
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm like, hey, she's got it up there. That's way better than I can do.
That's better. Okay. So I'm going to talk about more about Instagram, I guess, the tips and tricks behind that. I don't know how many of you guys use Instagram or if what your main thing is, but I chose Instagram when I didn't, to be clear, I started out with Instagram thinking it was for filters. Like I thought it was a photo app. And so I was posting pictures back in the day of my kids and I didn't realize it. So I've come a long way. But I chose Instagram because I had friends, Kobe coming from corporate, I had friends who had built their business on Facebook and had this huge following. And I felt very overwhelmed of how to even start. I had deleted all my friends on Facebook and was a private user on Instagram. So I started really, really small and just didn't know really what I was doing and have kind of learned as I've gone. And so I tell you that to make you aware that I didn't have a big following. I still don't have a huge following, but I have a very dedicated following. So
loyal, I would
very
also
loyal.
add loyal and engaged.
Yes.
Following.
So statistically, my engagement for my following surpasses my friend who has over 100,000 followers. Like she's like, what do you do? Because I have way more people. And so I'm telling you what works for me. And so hopefully it works for you. Okay, so we're going to start with, how do I do that? Okay. My first thing, if you haven't read Jab, 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 Right Hook, go read it right now. Because everything that when I read Jab, 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 Right Hook, I was like, oh, this is like exactly what I've been trying to do. And it works. So there you go. Basically, as you're starting out on Instagram or Facebook, you're a new business, you want to make sure that you're giving because that's how you're going to build a following. If you're just posting pictures of you like a selfie or I have my Shakeology, you're not really giving anything. You're just maybe showing who you are. And you really want to be able to say, okay, this is what types of things I'm going to give. I'm going to give like recipes. I'm going to give a workout routine. I'm going to give personal development, whatever that is, add value so that people want to stay with you and they want to follow you. Because that's really how I built my following and then was able to add in the extra stuff I'll talk about later. So I write my posts and I tell my coaches, some of them are on here, to write your post like you're talking to your best friend. So you don't want to preach. You don't want to say, basically I try to say, don't shame people. So
if you ever use the word should, just know that's spawned from shame.
Right.
And that's something that I had to learn, honestly, because what Ashlynn just said as far as talking to, like writing your posts as though you're talking to your best friend, I had to learn how to do that, even though it's been all this time in corporate. That's a skill, and it takes effort, takes work to be able to do that.
Right. So I have what I ate posts that I do frequently. Like I'll do one tonight. And for me to do those, it's very hard for some, like people love them. I hate doing them, but they love them. But it can be very shaming if I'm like, look what I ate today and I made all healthy choices. So you guys suck. You have to really be like, you know what? I struggled today. Or, you know what? I ate 2 Oreos and just be real and people will trust and follow you. Okay, so here's a big one. If your picture, Instagram is like all about the picture. So if you don't have a picture that grabs their attention, they're just going to keep scrolling or they're even going to unfollow you. So if the picture does not add value, do not post it. If it's just your dog or your kid and you're like, I can't figure out how to make this turn into a post, don't post it because everyone thinks their kid or their pet is super cute. So you have to figure out a way to make it fit into like the joy of coaching or being healthier or happier or whatever it is, that something that adds value and fits into your brand, what you're doing. Let's see, I talked about that, post recipes, workouts, fit tips, tutorials, quotes. I'll even do like hair tutorials sometimes on my Periscope and tell people to go watch it. And people love those because I have long hair and can do weird. I just go on Pinterest, guys. I don't make anything up. Profile. Okay, profile. So your profile, if you can see right here, and I think I've changed it even since this, but so I have exactly my name. This is searchable right here. So if somebody's like Mama Bear Fitness, or I think her name's Ashlynn, they're either Mama Bear or Ashlynn and Kobe is searchable. So you want whatever this is to be whatever you are. If people can't think of your name or whatever, fitness, whatever it is. I always do where I'm from, where I'm located, because I get a lot of local people and they're excited to, oh, I saw you today at Costco or whatever. I talk about what I'm doing, what I'm going to share, and this keeps me focused. Healthy recipes. I'm a lazy fitness mom, so I talk about, I only work out 30 minutes a day. People are like, what the heck? I talk about scoliosis because I have a fused back. Good vibes, I added in there because I really do. I give, and I don't leave a lot of room for people to be rude to me. And so I really never have mean comments. I don't have haters, and I really like that. And so I think just putting it out there and saying it's just good vibes, guys, it kind of keeps that.
And let me just comment on that very quickly. It's like this. There's always this notion that if I don't want to air my dirty laundry, and I don't want to share kind of the stuff that goes behind everybody's, behind my walls. So that's not for everybody. I understand that. But what we figured out was being vulnerable and being able to share. For instance, if you guys, I'm sure some of you guys have already scrolled and seen some pictures, but we've gone through the sexual abuse of our two daughters by my sister. We've gone through addiction, specifically sex addiction, from me since I was a kid, and dealt with 2 affairs. And those are things that we've all been public about in our recovery from both. So the reason why we don't have haters is when you share what's really tough, that's super hard and it's vulnerable. But when you share what's really tough, no one's going to jump in and hate on you when you've already said, this is, here I am, take me as I am. Well, no one's going to hate on you.
To be clear, whenever I share anything hard like that, it always ends on a positive note, and that's your key. You don't want to say, you know what, I suffer from depression and I'm depressed. You want to say, I suffer from depression, I am working on it, and this is something that worked for me today. Working out or eating healthier helps my mind stay more focused and whatever. So that people aren't bummed out when they read this story, they find hope. And so I would say that's another key is to write, to give, and to share, but give hope and be real. So I shared a post the other night. It was my laundry. Okay. So if you can scroll down and see it's a little bit down there. And I was like, how does this have anything to do with anything? But I made up a quote and put it on there. And I said, if you're succeeding at one thing, you're failing at another. And I really believe that because I'm rocking at some things, and then I have laundry all over my floor because I don't want to put it away. And so I shared that, and it was very real, and that's what I said. And people were, oh my gosh, yes, going crazy. And I was like, oh, go figure, a dumb post like that, because I added value and was very real, it worked. Instead of just saying mom life, laundry, So makes sense.
Be okay with being vulnerable. And always make sure that you have a positive, real life, relatable spin to it.
Okay. So I'm going to show you some examples. Sorry, it's not a very good view, but this is, so when I tell people when they're starting a fitness or a Instagram or Facebook or whatever, to figure out what you're about. So I'm fitness, food, and family. That's my main thing. But I have a lot of other subcategories that fit under those things. And so, okay, so this one right here was a fitness post, just showing here I have 6-packs, but guess what? I have kids, so I have really flabby skin, and that's the truth of it. So don't feel crappy when you see all these fit moms, they probably still look like that when they sit down. Being real about it.
Look at, does that say? Okay, that says 974 likes.
Yeah, and let me share with you why that got so many likes. First of all, because it was very relatable. Second, because the hashtags I used right here, if you see that in the post, I was at the very top. If you understand Instagram at all, hashtags are a big deal. You have to use hashtags on Instagram. But if you go, let's say I use a hashtag abs, I think I was on, there's like 23 million or whatever. Ooh, some of them are bad. We're going to go to a different one. Relaxed. Okay, so relaxed doesn't really fit that picture except that I'm relaxed in that pose. I was at, so it shows you the top post of that hashtag, and then these are the most recent. I was at the top of that hashtag for like 2 days, I think. And so usually a post only, you get at least 24 hours on Instagram. So that one I got a little bit extra because more people were seeing it and I got a lot of followers from it. So really making sure that your hashtags are on point and you're researching them will help you get the following that you want. So sometimes like that relaxed, it doesn't fit, but because it didn't fit, it stood out. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Food. So I'm a believer that I'm not a billboard. You guys are not a billboard for Shakeology or Beachbody or whatever. So I try to be more discreet about things. And so yes, this is a Shakeology mug. Yes, I'm drinking Shakeology, but I call it a green smoothie and blah, 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 whatever, on the go. And people are curious. So they'll leave a comment or they'll email me and say, okay, what is it that you're drinking? I need something quick and easy. So it leaves it open for that. Plus, I learned early on when I would sit and mention, like, I love 21 Day Fix. I'm doing 21 Day Fix. I would get people that say, okay, I went and bought it. Now what? So, okay. And then family. So instead of just posting a picture of my family, there's something behind it. There's some meat to it.
In that particular case then.
Yeah, this particular one is like, I talk about, I wish that we could all go to church wearing a big thing around our neck that says what we struggled with. And people really related to that because heck yeah, we're all struggling, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, I forgot that part. Brand yourself and show, okay, it's the parts that matter most. So it should be like 1 in every 4 posts. Like they should be very like consistent and more random. So you don't want like 2 food posts in a row or 2 kid shots in a row, things like that. You want to make sure that you're being consistent with what you want, but also breaking it up. Another thing is, this was a big one for me. Figure out what your cheat meal is and post about it. So your favorite thing, if you could like have a cheat meal, what would it be? And then talk about that. So like, my thing is cinnamon rolls. And so I get tagged on a lot of cinnamon roll stuff because people are like, oh, I'm thinking of you, Mama Bear. Like, you would love this. Because people know that when I'm going to go to the weekend and have like a treat, they know that I would likely want a cinnamon roll. So that was funny. Okay, so you repeat what people like the most. And if you haven't gone to Iconosquare right here, it used to be free. I think you can do 7 days free now. It costs money after that, but they're going to give you your stats for Instagram. They're going to tell you your most liked, most commented, your top followers. Like, don't look at the part where it says the followers that have left, because you'll just be
not good for morale.
Yeah, don't look at that part. But everything else is really good information. It will tell you the best times for you to post. Because I may say, like, I post from 7 a.m. till sometimes 10 p.m., depending on the day. But that works for me. It may not work for your followers. Like, you guys are in the East Coast or wherever you're at, it may be, you know what, I have to post later because, you know, the West Coast people or whatever it is. So figure out by using iconosquare.com. It's not an app, it's a website. That will help you figure out what those things are. And ask people, like, what do you guys want to see more of? My what I ate, they're right here. I have the same background for every picture. The lighting obviously is at different times of the day. I use natural lighting and it's just my iPhone. I try to get different shots. So sometimes they're more zoomed in and sometimes they're not. And some of the pictures, because I eat the same things a lot, I just have saved in my favorites on my phone so I don't have to retake the picture all the time. But my back of the board that I place my food on is a foam core board from the dollar store. And then I have like a photo background glued on top of it. But for a long time, I just used the white foam core black back. But you could go buy a big like 24 by 24 tile from Lowe's. There's so many options. Or if you have a pretty wood floor, do that just so that it's the same. And I do those. I try to do them at least twice a week and add value every time I do it. I hate doing them, but it's probably my most popular post. It also keeps me accountable. So giveaways. Okay, so giveaways, I started doing probably a year or so into it. Basically, as you grow a following, so I would say if you have more than like 800 followers, you should start trying to do a giveaway. So how does that happen? It's kind of a weird thing. Like, I really didn't know how to do it, so I just did it. I didn't ask anyone, and I didn't know. So now I'm telling you how to do it. Figure out, like, if you have enough followers, figure out right now what your favorite products are. If you have a favorite water bottle, favorite like local eatery, or favorite like kid food, like whatever it is, healthy nutrition bar, whatever that thing that you love, reach out to that company, and you're going to send them. I can share with you, Angela, the like a sample email that I've sent. And what you're basically doing is telling them why you're reaching out. Like, I really love your product because blah, like flattery, okay? And then you tell them a little about who you are. Okay, so I'm a MamaBear.Fitness. I run an account where I talk about food, fitness, and family. And this is basically what my following looks like. They're young moms. They are whatever, okay? And then I will say, these are my social media stats. So I'm on Pinterest, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Periscope. So I name all those stats and say, okay, this is what I have to offer. This is the marketing basically that you could have with me. And then I let them know that I will say, I'm actually running a giveaway today. You can go look at it. It's super easy. I just ask them to follow me and to follow the person I'm doing the giveaway with, and then just tag one person. And then you have to go through and pick a winner using random.org and then count all your comments. It's awful. There's no easier way for it though, guys. But you want to make sure your giveaway is super simple. Don't do loops. Don't do where they have to like repost a picture. That was my first giveaway, and I was like, whoa, big mistake. Don't do that. People just want easy. So you can even do it by just like this picture, and people, that's their entry, and you just go through and pick a person from there. There's also a really cool app, but you may not be able to get on right now. It's in beta mode. It's called Collaborate. Here, let me type it in there. What it is, it connects people from, let's see, sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, so sorry if there was questions. Okay, Collaborate app, that's what it is. And get on the wait list if you can, because it basically, you're putting yourself out there, and then companies are reaching out to you. So you don't have to send these emails. People can just look at your social media and who you are, and they have reviews from other companies saying, you know what, she did a great job, or she didn't do a great job. And it's so much easier. It's the best app in the world, and it was invented like 20 minutes away from me. So those Utahns, you know. Okay, and you know what? Just if you're questioning how to find out what people like, I did a questionnaire on, you know how you can do a quick link in your profile. It was a Google Doc, and it was just a really quick questionnaire, like where do you live, what's your age bracket, what's your favorite store, and I had a bunch of options like Target and da-da-da. And then what are the posts that you like to see from me? And it was just a couple of options, and it was really informative. Not everyone did it, but it was really cool to see, like, oh, this is my market. So that would be really helpful if you want to start doing giveaways. And like that with giveaways, you want to keep them every 4 posts, like not all the time. I am now accepting money and trade for my posts because I have a legitimate following now that I can. I started out and I was like, please, can I do a giveaway? I wouldn't even take trade. I was just like, let me share your product, because I didn't explain why. It gives you a following who is like-minded. So if you really like a clothing store and you randomly do like clothing selfie shots where you're not just in gym clothes, reach out to that company that you love and tell them why. You know, I look for mostly like smaller, like online shops, not like the Gap or something, because they're likely to say yes. it's anything. And so this week is my birthday. And so I'm actually doing a giveaway every single day. And that's not my norm. I'm usually maybe once a week or maybe once a month, if that. So the Collaborate app has given me a lot more. Okay, so I have this issue with a lot of coaches who are like, I don't know what to post. Like, I don't have an interesting life. I'm pretty boring. I do the same stuff. I'm eating the same food. So what do I post? Well, with Instagram, really, if you are consistent and your pictures are good, it really doesn't matter if you just like repeat old content. So if you go scroll back through my feed, I have a ton of pictures and posts, but guess what? Most people aren't going to remember what I posted a month ago. They're not going to remember for sure what I posted a year ago. And so go find some of those posts that got a lot of comments or likes and post it again. And if you had like an invite, a public invite that did really well, repeat it. There is no reason to like make up a new one and find a new picture. That's really how I figured out what works and what doesn't work is there's no point in redoing what already works. So figuring it out is awesome. But consistency. So with Instagram, you have to post at least once a day. I'm posting about 3 times a day, sometimes 4. And then the next thing is hashtags. So here's the thing. Like when you start on Instagram, people are like, oh, use like hashtags that are big, right? Like Insta post of the day or whatever all those IG ones are. But the reason you don't want those ones is because there's like over 1 million people using those hashtags. So yours is just going to be mixed in there and like pushed to the bottom fast. You want, so if you go right now and look on Instagram, we'll look up like Mama Bear, okay, under tags, and I can see that there's like a bunch of different ones I could use. So I could use Mama Bear Moment has a lot less, but if I went in there, my post would likely be a top post rather than down at the bottom because it's a smaller hashtag. You don't want to use one that's like 5 posts, but you definitely want like 3rd on the list from the most popular. Another way to do that and to figure out what your hashtags are is like figuring out, like if you're searching on hashtag, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a healthy recipe? Okay, then look for healthy recipe. And oh, look, the pictures are like where I would want to fit in. So start using healthy recipe. Or if it's school lunch or lunchbox, like things like that, research them out. Especially when I first started, I would go and so I'd research the hashtag. And if I saw a picture I liked in that hashtag, I would go and like it and comment. And what that does is these people who aren't following you and you're not following them are going to click on your profile. And if your profile is good, like pleasing to the eye, they're going to follow you. So that's an easy way to find like-minded people. They're using the same tag. What else? Okay, using and posting rotation. So I am talking about the same topics every single week because especially now with the new algorithms of Instagram, people are missing your posts. My sister-in-law today told me I only look at Instagram at night. So she doesn't see my posts from the morning or at lunch. She only sees the ones at night. And so unless they're like clicking on your name to see all your posts, they're missing it. And so you want to find a new way to share the same information. So like Kobe talked about our girls story, I don't post it like, hey, go read my story. Hey, go read my story. It's like, here's where we're at in that story. And if you want to take the time to read in full our story, here's the link to it. And it's actually in my profile. And it used to be a long website name, but if you go to tiny URL, type in that long website, it will shrink it down to a little one, and you can just push that. It looks clean, and you can change it all the time. So my posting rotation, because I wasn't sure when I first started how to do that, because it takes a learning to understand, like, how do I make talk about the same thing in different ways. I wrote it in the notes on my phone and would say, like, Wednesdays I talk about scoliosis, and Thursdays I talk about family, and Friday I talk about date night and healthy recipe, and here, this and that. And I'd have 3 topics for every day. And so that I was at least getting one of those topics in each day. Okay. It would kind of prompt me.
And then randomly, as something significant or of value would pop up throughout the day, she would replace one with that random thing that had a lot of value. So it's kind of like a guide. If you don't know what content to use, it's a guide to help you know what to post. But as stuff comes up, feel free to just use it as a guideline.
Like if you're really not feeling it today, then talk about it another day. It's just, it's exactly that. It's a guide. Here's another one. People ask me like, well, I didn't go anywhere today, or I'm sick in bed, so I don't have anything to post. Well, guess what? It's not lying. If you have a picture from yesterday or a week ago that you want to post and talk about. I don't, if you think that's lying, then I'm lying all the time, because I'm not always doing exactly what I'm posting about at that moment, but that doesn't mean I didn't do it. So post stuff, like have stuff ready, take a lot of pictures, delete your pictures so you don't miss moments because your phone is full of memory, out of memory. But that's so important. Another thing is create your own hashtags for certain subjects that you're repeating. So I have a couple of my own. Mama Bear Recipes is where I house all my recipes. And when I decided to do that, I was a year into it, and I had to go back and like find all my, and like add the hashtag to all of them. And so it's awesome, but it's so great because when people say like, hey, where do I find them? I'll just say, go to this hashtag, and they can click and they see lots more recipes. So it's very giving, and it houses it kind of like a cookbook. I also do that with my Mama Bear results. So before and afters, so people can see when I post a before and after, I'll put Mama Bear results. They can click on that and they'll see, oh, she really is legit. There's more. Okay. So share why you do what you do in a weekly in a different way. So if your why is spending time with your family, or your why is paying off certain bills, share it. And you don't have to like share numbers. You don't have to say like, I'm so rad because I can work at home and you can't. Like, it's very much just like, I'm grateful for being able to live in this moment. I'm with my kids, or I'm traveling, whatever your thing is, be posting about that. Remind people that what you are doing is working, and that it brings you happiness in whatever way your why is. Repeat. This is a big one for me. So here's this right here. Every morning, except this week because I'm doing giveaways, about 7 a.m. I post my personal development from the day before. Okay, so what that does is it keeps me accountable to myself. Like no one else knows I'm doing that, right? But it makes me think I have to do my personal development because I need a post for the morning. So this was my way of making sure that I did it, but also very giving, like sharing. Everyone loves a good feel-good quote, right? And so it's just taking a little teeny like nugget that you learned the day before and giving it. But as you'll see, I use the same font, same color, and then I write the name, and then I space out my name every single time. And it's always on a white background. So about every 4 posts, you'll see this white background with a quote.
And that creates all kinds of symmetry. If you look at her feed, you'll be able to identify that. And so those white backgrounds with those quotes will pop.
Yeah.
And that just helps with the overall layout and the appeal visually on the feed. So when people scroll, it's like it takes like one swipe in looking at someone's feed to realize, okay, I want to follow them, or I don't. So that's one of the reasons why.
I think it also creates a team, like people, a following that realizes that you are not just one-dimensional. I'm not just about fitness. I'm not just about food. Like, I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to be a better me. Yeah, and I give. This what I'm working on is to use the same filters on your photos. So I haven't quite figured that one out of what I like more, if I like light colored or if I like dark colored, black and white or color. But go through your feed tonight and just look. If what they say is to look at the top 12 posts. So if someone were to look at my Instagram right now, like these are the posts they're going to see, and they're going to say, oh, like most of them are white backgrounds, but then I have some that are like a dark background. Obviously, I can't make up my mind. So I'm working on that. I'm going to make up my mind and then use the same filters. So my apps that I love, I use Rana Designs every single day. And that adds text, it adds filters. You can add, I have the 3-pack, so I have the Rana Design Magic. You can do collages if you want. I do my collages in pick frame. I do all my videos. I do a workout video every morning, and I do it in chipmunk speed on iMovie, and I cut so that it's 15 seconds. And that always is in the same filter, luckily. But what was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you about Instagrass. Has anyone used Instagrass? Raise your hand. Yes, no, okay. Okay, so Angela's like, okay. So Instagrass is tricky if you, so I didn't know what I was doing when I signed up for it, but a top coach, I won't tell you who, she was paying someone in like Bangladesh. How much? Not much. But
she was paying somebody.
Like $15 a week or something to go on her Instagram and find the hashtags, go like and comment, and like basically do what I was doing on my own time. And I was like, oh, maybe I should do that. And so that I don't have to go and find a new follower and do all that stuff. And so I started researching online because I'm a emerald personality. If you know that, that means you like research everything before you actually do it. And yes. And I realized that it was crazy to pay someone and train someone to do it when I could have a robot do it. So I signed up for Instagrass. I bought a year's worth a year and a half ago. So I still have like 48 days left because you set a timer. So I set a timer and for 12
Meaning
hours.
It runs real time. It runs like when you buy like a week, that's like every second of every minute of every day.
Yeah. So it's
is
not,
what it counts.
Yeah, you start and you stop it. So I have it set up. It's a website. It's not an app. I have a video of how to set it up. If you guys want it, I can share it with you. But it's tricky to set up. You have to do a little bit of homework before you just push go. Because if you haven't researched your hashtags, you're going to start liking or commenting on like nude pictures or like dudes. You just got to be careful. So I did a lot of trial and error. Remember that people can see what you're liking and commenting on, your friends. So in the search button on Instagram, if you click, what is it? Oh, the heart button. If you click the following, I can see what all my friends are liking. And so if you're like, wait, they're liking like nude pictures, you don't want your friends to think that. So unless you really are liking nude pictures, I don't know. But so Instagram, do your homework, watch my video. But basically it is what you want. It's like someone working for you when you're actually not working on something else that's more important. But it builds my following. So I don't have a huge following, like I said, but I get 30 to 50 followers a day. And I know it's because of my hashtags and because I turn on Instagram every morning at 7 a.m. It turns off at 9 p.m. my time, mountain time. So I have someone working for me all day long, commenting and liking. I do not follow anyone. That's another thing I didn't show you right here. So if you look, I have my followers is a lot higher than who I'm actually following. So I have a personal account where I follow my friends and family. And I still follow them some on here, but I don't follow anyone. Like that's not how I gain my followers. But I also started a new Instagram in January. And I kind of was doing it as a test to see if what I was teaching my team actually worked. I told no one about this page because first of all, I was a little bit, we hadn't shared our story yet about addiction and stuff. So I didn't really want anyone to know at that point. And I was embarrassed, like what if it didn't do good? I didn't want people to like, oh, that's MamaBear. She didn't know what she's doing. So told no one, went for 1 month, and I gained 100 followers a week.
And that was like one. I think you started with like 2 posts a day.
No.
Something under 1.
No, I only, from the beginning, post 1 post a day. So simple, you guys. All it was is I find a quote, and then I use a picture, and I write the quote on the picture. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm using the right hashtags, and I'm posting. I am consistent, and then I turned on Instagram every morning, went for 12 hours, and turned off. I did start that one. I follow 60 people every single day. So let's see how many I have now. I think, so so our videos came out, and that gave us a bunch of followers. But before my videos came out, I think I had like I think I had 500 followers before I told anyone. So I know that it works. They were legitimate followers. They were posting and commenting. Sorry, Taco. Let's see. What app do you use for your typed posts? Rana Designs.
Spell it.
Rana. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. And she's cute. She's been in my challenge group. So you use the right hashtags and you attract the peoples of the company, right? Yeah. So she's super cute. And she features people. So I'm often featured in her app like all the time because I use it constantly. So, where was I talking about? There was one thing. Oh,
building your following.
With Instagram, I'll just share you the video with that because it's complicated. But I forgot to tell you about the hashtags in the comment. If you guys are using Instagram, you know that you want to go and post a bunch, like a list of hashtags right after your post. So I have those hashtags in my notes section just saved. So like, here's food, here's a quote one, here's a workout one, here's family, I think is the other one. And what I figured out is this. Oh, it's not doing it. I was going to show you on there. I do ... hashtags. And what it does is it hides it. So rather than everyone seeing like 30 hashtags, which is super ugly and annoying, and like we all do it, but you don't want to see it, right? It hides them. So they still work to help you and to benefit you, but they're hidden. So you have to save it in your notes function. I only have an iPhone, so I don't know how that works with an Android. Sure, you have the same type of thing. But I go and just do a bunch of periods with return, and then I do my hashtags. And then when I copy and paste, it sets it so that it's hidden, if that makes sense. Any questions?
Oh, you didn't clarify. So you said that you had 500 followers before the videos were shared, and then since then on Ashlynn and Kobe.
Oh,
that's kind of like the.
Sorry, I have.
So
I have 1837 on my new account that I just started in January. So like, that's not a huge following, but they are commenting every day and they are liking my pictures. They're sending me direct messages.
That's in 2 months.
They're engaged.
That's in 2 months.
It's April now. So
February.
Yeah. 3.
March. That's 2 months.
I started in January.
Yeah, but you didn't. The video was posted 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
So in 2 months, went from 500 to 1837.
Right. So I didn't clarify this though. I follow 60 people a day, and then I go through every night before I turn back on Instagram.
Meaning Instagram goes into your account and
they
follows.
Follow according to what I tell it to. So either follow people that I like. So I like these clothing companies. I like this, whatever it is, like Albion Fit or Lululemon, and I say go follow their followers and go comment on their followers because obviously we are like-minded. That's how Instagram works. It's awesome. But you can also add hashtags to that. So I say go and follow these 60 people, and then every night or every morning before I turn on Instagram, I go and unfollow all of those people. How many do I get out of that? At least half. It's worth it. But you have to stay up on it and unfollow them, or you'll get way behind and like, and you don't want to pay Instagram to unfollow. They will do that for you as an option, but it eats up your time.
And honestly, that time that Ashlynn does it, I mean,
it takes
when she wakes up,
1 or 2 minutes.
She does that in the morning before we get out of bed to go work out.
Yep.
So it's It's pretty quick.
One more quick thing before I'm done is I really, I haven't been great at it, but when we went on the cruise, I realized my Instagram business, like I had to post while I was gone. And so I used Buffergram, and it's like using it for Facebook where you can schedule your posts out. And so I know a lot of people who are top Instagram people who they will get all their posts ready for the week, like on a Saturday or Sunday, and have them all scheduled out for the whole week. It was amazing to do that, and I should do it more, but I just haven't yet. I had an excuse for the cruise, but I don't have one now. So that's a great thing if you feel like you can't keep up with it or you're too busy on certain days, schedule it out. Okay, I'm done.
Angela, back to you.
Buffergram is free for, I think you can get like 30 posts for free, and then it costs, and I haven't paid yet, so I don't know what it costs, but I pay for Buffer.
So let me just add one more thing onto this too. So as far as like kind of the overall big takeaway, what I can tell you is that the reason why Ashlynn has such a loyal following and such an engaged following. Okay, and let me kind of explain what I mean when I say that, as far as like what the results are of that. Because she's vulnerable and because she is engaged and she's consistent, she influences her followers to take action. Okay, because they know everything about us,
and
right?
Trust is already built.
And so, yeah, exactly. So when you're that vulnerable, trust is built. Like,
which is like everyone's problem, right? Like they don't want to sign up because they don't know who you are. Totally. And so that's one thing is people sign up a lot quicker with me. It takes like one email and they're like, okay. So
because they've been because they followed her, they understand her story. They've read, whether it's about addiction or about abuse, whatever that is, or even just seeing like the truth post about her stomach, right? That fosters trust. And so once that happens and you gain that trust because you're vulnerable enough to share about you, the things about you, the good and the bad, the good and the hard, then when there's a call to action, which Ashlynn does consistently, not lots, but consistently, then more people answer that call than what you would actually think. So Ashlynn consistently, since starting, 18 months ago, since December of 2014, Ashlynn has hit Success Club like 20 or higher every month, because those are people who trust her and have answered a call to action and are ready to follow.
Yes, so I think that answered your question, Megan. Hootsuite, yeah, I used to use that. I haven't used it, so I didn't realize it was free for 3 sites. That's cool. How do I get my following to move to Facebook? I used to try really hard to do that, and I don't, because I get people on Facebook, some business there, but Facebook for me is more like sharing, like share my post kind of thing, so that I get new followers there. But a lot of my following just stays on Instagram. They don't really like Facebook for some reason. I was one of them, and so I get that. I didn't like Facebook. I still don't like it. So no, but I do have a place to go. Like I have my stories written and housed on a website. I didn't get our website up and running until January. Before that, I just had it on like someone else's blog, and I just had the link there. So whatever your story is, like I hope your mess is not as messy as mine, but make your mess your message and share it, and have somewhere that it's housed so that when you do share it, you don't have to like write a novel in a post. It's just like, here's a little tidbit, and if you want to read more, here's the link. Or go to my profile, and it's in the link. Any questions?
Laraka, what do you think?
That was awesome. Okay, I took like 400 notes because I suck at Instagram. Like I've been trying and I just don't get it. Like I don't get it. I'm like, #fit mom. I don't know. Like I don't like, why do you have hashtags to search things? Okay. Like it just goes right over my head. So this was extremely helpful for me. And I have a feeling for a lot of other people that were on there. It's like, I seriously taking my notes.
One last little thing that my mind, Angela, on that as far as like hashtags. So sometimes Ashlynn will find, or she'll have like a what I ate post, and you guys saw from the presentation, like it's all like good stuff, right? Well, sometimes she will hack something that's like polar opposite and hashtag of what the meal actually represents. So she might hashtag like ding dongs or like hostess or like cinnamon rolls. And if you have a great picture like that, like what I ate, and all of a sudden it pops up in like
Someone's
hostess,
looking for cookies, and
cupcakes,
they're like,
or like no bake cookies, and you like search that hashtag and you're like, wait, what's this post? All of a sudden that great looking post of what I ate just goes pop out of the feed. And then people are like, oh wait, I was looking for ho-hos, but I saw this. Like, oh, this is curious. Like, what is this?
It's true.
So sometimes the opposite ones can help you just pop right out of the feed.
So some of mine, if you'll look, some of my hashtags are all the same in each one, like scoliosis, because it doesn't matter what I'm posting. Like that's always me. Yeah. I hashtag my name, Ashlynn, because ironically people hashtag, like they look up their name. So,
I'm going to go search my name.
I know.
Who's hashtagging Angela? I need to find out.
So people are like, that's my name too. I'm like, cool. You never know. You never know.
How many hashtags do you use on a given post? Like I've seen some people leave like a novel's worth, and I see some people leave like 5.
Yes. So in an actual post, like not in the comments, in an actual post, I try to use at least 3 because I'm
in the body.
What's that?
Like in the body of the text that you're writing.
The actual like post, I have at least 3, but not usually more. Maybe 5 at the most. And then in the comments is where I will do the ... and then like 20 hashtags. So you can't see them. It will just say Mama Bear right under. If you go to like look at one of my pictures, it just shows Mama Bear under my post, so you can't see like 30 hashtags. But I have my Instagram linked to my Facebook like page. So every time I'm posting on my Instagram, I just automatically am posting on my Facebook. And because I have those 3 hashtags that are in the body of the post, it's also pulling people from Facebook. So I will get a lot more reach on Facebook. I don't ever pay for ads, so I don't have a huge following, but I get a lot of reach. Like sometimes I'll get like 20,000 views on a stupid video because of the hashtag I use. Yeah, so, like my most popular video was like me in my robe, and it was stupid.
Like 6:30 in the morning with bed head, and she's talking about
Brene Brown. Yeah. So
I did not know you could link that to your Facebook like page.
I share it from Instagram to my Facebook profile page, but you can actually link it to your like page. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so let me see where you do it. So down, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Right here, it will say like share. So if you click on that, it will say like, where do you want to link it? We'll go to your regular profile name, but then you have to go and say like, no, I want it to go to my like page.
What? Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
It's great. And I was told like, don't do that because you lose visibility, but Facebook brought Instagram, so not the case.
So wait, where did you go to find that little Facebook, like back on a post?
So like you're ready to post now. Like here's your picture,
and
then it says share.
Oh yeah, okay. So all right, I have to like act like I'm gonna post something.
Yes, yeah. That reminds me, another thing that I do is I add locations a lot, like not when I'm at home, but like today I was at a kids museum and I hashtag where we were at, and a lot of people are like, oh, I was there too, or oh, I'll get a lot of people like, I just saw you. So it just helps people feel connected and engaged and like, oh, I know that place. So wherever you're at a landmark or like a restaurant that people like, hashtag it. Or add your location and hashtag
it. Mind bombs? Is that what you said?
Knowledge bombs.
But you know what? I love Instagram because it's free. They have started doing ads now, but it's one of the best ways to market who you are, because I don't have to pay for people to see my stuff. Like, giveaways are great because you find new followers, you're tagging new people, and then they're following you. So I got a lot of new followers today because I have a giveaway that people are wanting. It's not like a crappy giveaway.
I saw that. I was like, oh, I want that.
You do. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, this was so great. Does anybody else, I know this is like way late for us East Coasters here. No, it's okay. This is like good stuff. But I wanted to see if anybody else had any like questions they didn't get answered. Just give you guys a second to like throw them up.
Thinking, like, I'm just getting started on Instagram. Remember that we all started somewhere, and don't look like one of our good friends is someone who has, well, a couple of our friends have over 100,000 followers. And I remember starting out going, oh my gosh, like I'm not even close to that. And I don't know if I'll ever get close to that. But being happy with like, you know what, I have like 100 followers that are engaged, who are kind. That's good enough. Yeah. Like, keep going, being consistent. One thing I didn't mention is direct messages. Those are private messages you can send people. So I often, at the very beginning for sure, would send videos to welcome people to my page. Like, hey, Angela, I saw that you liked my page. Thanks for coming. Tell me what brought you here. Like, are you looking for food, fitness, tips? And then they usually tell you, and you can have an engaged conversation.
That's what we did lots.
Yeah, I don't do it as much anymore because it's hard for me to keep up on who's new and what, but I will, like, if people are really engaged consistently, I will reach out to those people direct message. And that's where I can do like invites to my challenge. Like, hey, you've been following me for so long. Tell me why you haven't done one of my challenges.
Yeah.
I do not spam people. I get spammed a lot. Like, hey, you would make a great coach. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I am a coach.
That's good. They don't even realize it because you're not beach body, blah, 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 all the time.
For sure.
That's awesome. All right. Everybody else is pretty quiet. So does anyone else have any questions? Going once, going twice. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ashlyn and Kobe, so much. I really appreciate it. I didn't even realize you're on spring break with your kids and you're taking the time to get on this call with us. Like, I really, really, really appreciate it so much.
And thanks for staying up late, everyone.
Yeah, we're all like, yeah, we're totally awake. This is great.
If you guys want like stuff that I mentioned, just let Angela know and I will send it over. Sure.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get rid of me now.
Awesome.
Bring it.
Just kidding. Not really. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I guess we'll wrap it up then. Thanks everybody for getting on. I hope you guys all got all the goodness from this because it was pretty awesome. I gotta turn this thing off here. Stop recording.